Hey, can you see me? All right. Hey, so you're thinking about owning a franchise. All right, well, I'm here in my store. This is actually the first video that I have made in my store. This is the one here in Florida. I've owned 2 franchise locations if you're new to the channel, and wound up selling one location. But 13 years ago, I had thought about the idea of opening up a franchise. I remember I was working in the bank, and I used to go to one particular smoothie franchise when I was living in Virginia. And I always thought, wow, how cool would that be to own a franchise? And I really set that as one of my goals and my intentions 13 years ago. And so fast forward to today, sitting in this location here, having this 1,400 square foot franchise with almost 15 employees and having built a multi-million-dollar franchise business, I think back about my journey. And if you're thinking about owning a franchise, hang around for the rest of this video, because no matter where you are right now, whether you're working for someone and you're scared about the idea of making the leap from going from employee to entrepreneur, right? You're thinking about owning a franchise. Is it even right for you? Does it make sense? Can you afford it? How scary is that to invest your life savings into something and not know if it's gonna work? Will you even like it? Will you enjoy it? Are you gonna sacrifice your lifestyle and your time and freedom with your family by owning a franchise? And then, like, what franchise do you even choose? Right? There are literally over 3,800 franchisors in the United States. So how do you pick the franchise that aligns best for you? And later on in this video, I'm gonna tell you about an exact process that you can use to successfully go from zero to franchise, to go from where you are right now, wherever you are right now, thinking about a franchise, actively looking at franchises, talking to franchisors, to signing a franchise agreement, owning a location like this, or owning a business that you've always dreamed of and you've always wanted to own. But I can relate to a lot of your struggles, because when my wife and I were going through the journey of thinking about owning a franchise, those were some of the exact fears that we went through. And I'll tell you, ultimately the reason why we opened our first franchise location, which was one of these stores in California, we opened it up from scratch. It was a 1,200 square foot location. When we signed our lease, the shopping center was a dirt lot. There was nothing there. And then we wound up building out that store, getting it profitable in less than 60 days after we opened. It was super exciting, and man, it was a relief. And my wife and I experienced a lot of those same fears and uncertainties about, is this gonna work, and should we invest the money, and this is a lot of money, and what franchise do we choose, and how do we go through the process? And to be honest, I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and it was because I didn't know about this process to use and how to really go about choosing the right franchise for us, one that aligns with our lifestyle, with our financial goals, with our family goals, with our lifestyle goals. Because here's the thing, if you choose the wrong franchise, it can wind up having the reverse effect. So instead of creating more financial success for you, more freedom and flexibility, or put you in a position where you're happier because you're not dealing with the corporate red tape, or you finally own something, right? You finally own something that's yours. Instead, you're buying a job. Instead, you're working more, not less. And instead, you're making less money and not more money. But when you go through this process, it'll help you find the right franchise for you. And so I'm excited to finally announce my Zero to Franchise coaching program. What this is about teaching you the exact process and framework in which to select a franchise, a very clear process. And so you can find the process, these 9 vital steps at tariqjohnson.com/blog. I'll leave a link below. It's totally free. You can go there and find the 9-step process. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a group of people that know that they want to go from employee to entrepreneur, that know that they want to own their own business. They know that franchising is a great option for them because they don't have to figure it all out. You get to buy into a proven framework and system in which to operate a business. What I'm going to help you do is find a business that aligns with your skill sets, with your values, with your goals and your vision, so that you can make sure you're selecting a business that's right for you, that creates that lifestyle, that freedom and flexibility that you always dreamed of and you always wanted. So over a 6-month period, we're going to go from wherever you are now, whether that's thinking about owning a franchise, whether that's actively looking at franchises now, to at the end of the 6 months having a signed franchise agreement and knowing that you've chosen the right business for yourself and your family because you went through an exact process that I'm going to be on weekly calls with this group, guiding them through the process, answering their questions, helping them overcome their challenges and their fears and all the different hurdles that come up throughout the process. And so I'm so excited to bring this program about because so many of you guys ask me questions about franchising and what franchise should you choose. If you're reaching out and asking about, hey, can you recommend a good franchise? Look, guys, at the end of the day, there's over 3,800 franchises out there. Franchisors, actually. There's hundreds of franchises that could be good for you, that are great, that could make sense. Ultimately, you get to decide, right? You get to decide what's right for you. You get to be the driver and the controller of this process, but make sure that you're going through a framework and a process so that you make sure that you choose the right franchise for you. Let's talk about the first part of the process in buying a franchise. Here's the thing. The number one most important thing you need to do when deciding to buy a franchise is get clear on your vision. What's your vision for your life? What do you want your lifestyle to look like? How much money do you want to make? What do you want your life to be like with your family? Time, freedom, and flexibility, right? I talk about this a lot in my videos. Again, this is something that my wife and I, we didn't align these two things. Part of it, now we own a juice and smoothie franchise, small juices, smoothies, acai bowls. You know, part of it was that this was in alignment with our lifestyle in terms of our values, promoting healthy living and eating, providing people a great option. At the time, my wife and I were making juice and smoothies at home. We saw the need in the marketplace because where we lived in California, there was not one nearby. We had to drive a couple of exits to go and find a location. And so that helped to drive our decision. But I know there's some of you out there right now where you know that you want to own a business, and the reality is there's some of you where unless you wind up going the route of franchising, you probably won't ever start a business. Because think about it, there's so many challenges, like what business do you do and getting everything started. I remember when my wife, when we were going through the franchise process, we had been talking to different franchises for months at that time. And at some point my wife goes, why don't we just open up our own place, our own juice and smoothie place? And you know what I did? Here's what I did. I took, actually we got one right here. It was a menu, right? And this is just a placard. But I went, you know, how long do you think it would take to make one of these, to think of it, to create this menu? Like to go through the process of figuring out all of the products, all of the ingredients, matching the flavor profiles, doing all of the testing, sourcing the ingredients, and then hiring designers, coming up with the pictures, the design, getting it printed. You know, I estimated that, you know, it would probably take us at least 15 to 20 hours. And that's probably being on the conservative side. And I just thought about, you know, knowing myself and my wife and how busy we were, because we opened our franchise while we were both working. That's a great thing about franchising too, is that you can start the process while you're still working most of the time. You can create a transition for yourself out of your job, and it allows and affords a unique way of starting a business that that most people would never wind up starting a business. But I just thought about how long it would take to create the menu and the products and the ingredients and hiring the designers, how expensive the process would be and how long it would take. And I went, nope, not interested in doing that. I'd rather just plug and play into a system, right? That's the beautiful thing about owning a franchise. You're buying and investing into a system. So guys, I'm excited to share this program with you, Zero to Franchise. Hopefully it really helps you. If you want to apply, go to tariqjohnson.com/consulting. I will leave a link in the description below. I will tell you that one, franchising is not for everyone, right? So franchising may not be for you, and myself or my team will let you know if we feel like that is the case. And two, not everyone will qualify for this program. Not everyone, one, is in a financial position to own a franchise. Two, some people aren't meant to open a business. So this is not about just trying to fill up this program with anyone. You're gonna be in a community with a group of other people that are serious about buying, opening, and selecting a franchise. You're gonna get to learn from them throughout the process as I guide everyone on these calls, on these meetings, be in a private community. And it's gonna be really exciting because you're gonna get to learn from all these other people as they're going through the process, as well as the framework of the process itself. But this is for people that are, one, in a financial position to be able to buy and invest into a franchise, and two, people that are serious. Like people that are fed up with whatever their situation is, or tired of working for someone else, or know that they finally want to take control of their future and own a business. So if that's you, make sure you to go to tariqjohnson.com/consulting or click the link in the description below. And I look forward to meeting you and hopefully helping you create something like this in your life, because I remember, again, years ago, envisioning owning a business like this, and now it's a reality. It's really exciting, and it's been a really fun, rewarding journey. I've learned so much about business through owning the franchises, the multiple locations over the past few years, getting locations open, buying this as an existing location. Man, I've grown so much. So now I have other entrepreneurial ventures and businesses that I've started, but franchising was my training ground. I learned so much by actually owning and operating these locations and having the guidance and support of the franchisor. They've been so great throughout the process and been so helpful in me learning. So look forward to seeing you guys on the other side. If you like this video, make sure to hit like, drop a comment below. Also, make sure to go grab my 7-step blueprint to business profits in 60 days. And I look forward to serving you, working with you, and helping you create the life of your dreams.